Continuing from the previous video on the splint for the lower leg, the tibia fibula. You can see I have all my ties in place now. Here's my fracture site between these two green striped cravats. And now really all I have to do is, you can see I don't normally want to lift this, but if you see, if I lift, you can see how well it's immobilized already. But now I'm just going to tie the foot in. I'm going to take it underneath the heel. I'm going to cross on top of the foot like this. I may even bring this around, cross and underneath the foot. Bring one underneath, one end underneath the board. This is the last tie you want to do. And now secure it. So now if I lift her up like this, you can see that she's immobilized well. And again, there's a fracture site. I always want to go back and check my ties. And if one's loose, you need to redo that tie. That's a splint for the fracture of the tibia fibula, the lower leg. So we'll untie her, we'll go to the bent knee. I'm going to remove some of these ties because I do not need them right now. And now all I really need is 3 ties for the bent knee, just like the bent elbow. So my boards are going to go like this. Right now I need to get my tie, my first tie in place, and that's the cradle tie. So I'm going to lift this cradle tie up like this underneath the knee. I'm going to take the other 2 boards. I'm going to take one board and put it on the outside of the leg, and take the other board, put it on the inside of the knee. Okay, now I've got to pin this other board on the outside with my hip. I've got to bring this underneath now. I've got to tie both ends underneath. Go. Now I have control of the splint. So I'm going to tie this on the side of the board just below the patella. You okay? Okay, now I have that tied. That's my cradle tie. My top tie is going to go between the boards like this and the leg. Same with the elbow. I'm going to cross on top, come around the thigh, and tie on the side. And the bottom tie is going to be the same as the top tie. I'm going to come between the leg and the boards again. I'm going to cross on top, bring it around, and tie on the side. Okay, that was the only 3 ties you need for the bent knee. 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and try to straighten. The victim should not be able to straighten her knee out. She cannot, and then the only way to finish it is if I have to move her a transporter, I've got to tie the foot into this splint. So this is the bent knee, exactly the same as the bent elbow. Cradle tie, top, bottom ties are the same. This is exposed. The knee will be exposed. 2 long boards for the knee, 2 short boards for the elbow. The next splint I'm going to be going over will be the ankle and foot, and that will finalize the splits that you're required to know in my course. I can't speak for the rest of our instructors, but I don't think they have others either. So for the foot and ankle, remember we use a pillow if we have one. If we don't, we can use blankets, which I'll show you in just a minute, but we use a pillow. So I'll line this up. I'm going to slip this underneath, but I want to get my ties in place first again. So I'll take it underneath the Achilles tendon. I like to do about 4 ties for this one. I'm going to take the pillow. I'm going to raise her up, straight leg by the pant leg at the end here. I'm going to slip the pillow in place. Very gently, I'm going to lay these up and slide the pillow in, and then very gently lower because my fracture site is right about here. Now, primarily, I don't want to lift with the pant leg. If I'm by myself, that's good, but I normally want to support this whole area. I can have somebody do that with me, and that would be a better way of doing it. Now, I'm going to tie the first tie above and below the fracture site, just like always. Tied 2 now below the fracture site. You okay? Yep. This is a very comfortable splint because it's all soft. And this obviously is an example of a soft splint. There's my fracture site here. Above and below, move that down a little bit, to above. Now we can add cardboard onto these, cardboard underneath, maybe some boards if we had to, short boards, rigid splints. But this is for the ankle and foot. It's still, she's able to still move her foot, but it's fairly comfortable. Everybody has a pillow at home, and it's an easy one to apply. And if you did not have a pillow around, we can also, and you didn't want to lift the fractured part, remember I'm lifting from the hip, not from the knee. So I'm just trying to get these ties undone. So normally I want to lift like this. So you're supporting that so it doesn't move. But if I had to use a blanket, we can use what we call the horseshoe, where we just take it and do this. And just bring these around, and then bring your ties around and secure that. But you want to get the supplies, the ties in place first. But these are horseshoes. These are quick to use. Again, a lot of people have blankets around, and it's a quick way to somewhat immobilize the foot or ankle. But we always want to have the shoe off and keep the toes exposed. So there's your 8 required splints for the Responding to Emergencies class. Thank you very much.